today I've decided to play Wallachia because I realized that they seem really strong because you have Danubian state, which has some really good cultures, and then from Danubian state you can still form Central Europe, and I think doing all that is going to be really, really strong for a country that only starts the game with a 1.3 million GDP and doesn't have like a major unification, which it's going to be pretty nice to try and see how good that does. So I'm going to start by researching atmospheric engine. And then I think I'll go for nationalism. That seems pretty reasonable. For my starting construction, I'll put down just a single iron mine. And then we'll go do some decrees that are going to be good because we got plenty of extra authority. Or maybe we can't actually afford all of those decrees. I guess I'll remove resource industry because we want to keep maximum negative enactment time. Then we'll bring in all of these interest groups to government. It seems like sometimes rural folk aren't demarginalized, which can be a bit of a problem, but they aren't demarginalized this time. So we're good to start enacting agrarianism. And then we're going to negotiate with the church and the armed forces. Luckily, we get both on political concessions. That is going to be really nice so that we can pass agrarianism easier. Then I'm going to sign support independence with Serbia and Moldavia because we want them to be independent as well. And I'm going to start requesting stuff from the Ottomans so that I can get my independence real quick. Yeah, we get our Serbian and Moldavian treaties. Now if we simply declare independence, we'll have those guys as well as Russia on our side because you start the game with a treaty with Russia. So let's declare our independence. And then, oh, I forgot to declare my starting interest. We want one in South Germany, one in the Balkans. That's going to be pretty nice. And the other thing that's nice about having these guys on our side is it adds more primary war goals, making the Ottomans a little bit less likely to back down. Because the Ottomans backing down can be a little bit of a problem with them having this maintain balance of power strategy, which makes them more willing to back down, I'm pretty sure. Now we can add in our conquests. I should have actually gone for Dobruja day one, but it's not really going to matter. I'll go for Dobruja, northern Bulgaria, and southern Bulgaria, because we got a good amount of iron and some logging. And yeah, all the states in the Ottomans really aren't that good, so it's not like we could have gotten much better resources, you know? The real prize is Hungary. Such good resources in Hungary. Well, the war has begun, and obviously we are going to be winning the battles because Russia is a much stronger nation than the Ottomans. Although I think sometimes they can commit extremely little to this war. It looks like this time they did not contribute extremely little to the war. Also, the Ottoman troops have like 50% org for some reason. I don't really know why, but that's a thing apparently. Yeah, we're pushing it pretty quickly. Already in northern Bulgaria and eastern Serbia. Just a little bit more pushing needed to occupy all of our war goals. Unequal treaties. Yeah, I think I want to improve relations with the USA. I guess I'll build out some of the stuff that we're apparently running shortages of right now. So a paper mill and a tooling workshop. The tooling workshop is probably more important. Okay, now I think we can enforce. No, we can. Yeah, no, they won't accept that. My allies. That doesn't make some sense that they wouldn't want to accept that, even though it doesn't actually do anything. Okay, we can, yeah, propose peace deal, and we are no longer a subject of the Ottoman Empire. And yeah, we have a pretty big starting area now. It is going to cost a lot of our bureaucracy to incorporate that, but we're still just barely in the positives, so that is pretty nice. I guess I should remove some of my decrees. Like, probably the greener grass is not going to matter, and instead I'm just going to social mobility like everything, except maybe Dobruja, because I don't think very many people live in Dobruja. Yeah, not that many people do, so it's probably not worth the authority there. Now we get invited into the Russian power bloc. This is a thing that we have to accept pretty much. It's, maybe not ideal, but I think I'm kind of completely fine with joining the Russian power bloc, and in fact, maybe even becoming a Russian subject, because then we could maybe even take over the Russian power bloc. I don't know. There's a lot we could potentially do. So yeah, I'm just going to join that block. I'm going to delete these construction sectors we got. Yeah, we cannot afford them, I think. Kind of expensive, and we don't have much money. I'm running a pretty big negative bureaucracy, so I should probably build up a government administration. Oh, we have a paper shortage. Okay, well no, a government administration is not going to help then, I guess. Yeah. What we should do, though, is begin rivaling a lot of random countries for influence, which we need to use to improve relations with a lot of the great powers, because you need positive relations with every great power in order to do the Unite the Principalities stuff. Hopefully the Ottomans stop being a great power, because it's going to be very hard to get them into the positives. But yeah, we are going to need to try to get every great power up to having positive relations, assuming that they have an interest in Danubia, I guess, which some might not. Yeah, Great Britain doesn't right now. Okay, agrarianism has passed. Yeah, we can't really ban slavery. So what would be a good thing to go for next? We could go for per capita tax, but apparently that's way less money. I guess we're putting a negative 90% right now. Okay, it's just lying to me about that being less money, but we don't know, I guess. Let's just go tenant farmers, maybe? I think I want to go tenant farmers, yeah. Now that manorialism is nowhere near as good as it was, I don't think it's worth keeping, so we're gonna do some political concessions. Oh, we can even negotiate with the boyars. Okay, let's try. State redemption payments. That's not that bad. Yeah, I think I'll do that to get these guys to not oppose it, so we can get this through really easily. I'm building up a second government administration now. As the shortage effect slowly goes away, we should start getting a pretty good amount of bureaucracy. Oh, tenant farmers has passed. Very nice. Oh, there's a civil war going on in Austria. Interesting. Maybe this is a good opportunity to declare our war on Austria. I think it's pretty foolish to not try to attack Austria during this. So that means we need to try to get in alliance with Russia. And as you can see, that's pretty hard. So what we're going to have to do is enlistment efforts in all of these states. Then get the maximum amount of conscripts that we can. Then now the alliance is negative 74. Which, it's still not great, but it's a little bit more reasonable. Now we can owe them an obligation. I'll give them investment rights and a monopoly on logging camps. That's a little bit net positive. I guess I could give them some money. Not a huge amount of acceptance, though. Let's try to take some goods from them. Yeah, okay, I can take 636 grain. I don't think that's actually profitable for Russia. I think the AI is incorrectly evaluating this, but we'll take them. And then, I promise not to tear up your hardwood, Russia. I could sell them Dobruja. I think we can get it back. Oh, actually, no, Russia wouldn't want me to not tear up hardwood. They would want me to not trade hardwood, right? Because my hardwood price is really low, so I'd be competing with them. So really, this is what they should want. And, we get a 55% chance of accepting. If they decline, what do we even do? I don't know. I guess we maybe, No, let's just do this. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, they declined. Okay, well, what do we do then? One of the goods transfers is now negative. I guess I add in a max money transfer and we try again this time. Because it seems like they just didn't recognize that the goods transfer was there. Okay, well, we get the treaty. I guess if they would have declined, we could have done that. Even if they had the grain in, right? Because the grain, we could have gotten an extra 10 acceptance from the grain. So yeah, we do that. And now we have our alliance with Russia, which is going to be very useful. We cannot just declare, though, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that Austria will not let Russia join, right? Am I crazy? So apparently we are able to just declare on Austria and Russia can join us. But I don't want to do that because Prussia. So I'm going to declare on Modena and Austria should join. Yeah, we're going to declare Modena and Austria should join, and then we can call Russia to our side. Also, this way, Russia's more willing to join us. Yeah, we can use call ally on Russia here. Let's do that now, yeah. And then we want to transfer. Oh, did they not fix the maneuver cost? I feel like they should not be costing 8 maneuvers. Huh. Okay, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we have a lot of infamy now, but it's not too much of a problem. We just gotta hold the line here, while Russia should be easily strong enough to win this war, because Austria's had their army weakened by this nationalist revolt, as well as Polish revolt, and maybe even more revolts happening. Springtime of the Peoples. Yeah, it looks like Czech revolt is about to happen, maybe a peasant revolt. So all that should weaken Austria, while Russia can just kill him. And then once we get Hungary, it's actually going to eat Transylvania as well, because reasons. I did consider trying to become a Russian subject, but I realized that would stop us from getting protectorates, at least unless they're insignificant powers, which is kind of a little bit of a tough requirement, so I ended up not doing that. We might actually end up getting forced to be one. Hopefully with Hungary as a subject, we can become a major power and thus ineligible for Russia to protectorate us. Transylvania got into a civil war. This is not good for us. This is very bad for us, in fact, because I think this is going to mean we only get northern Transylvania for free, and we'll have to return state southern Transylvania. I guess it's really not that big of a deal, but it's a little bit unfortunate. Austria should be going negative. As soon as they go negative war support, they're just going to hit capitulation desire, I guess. So yeah, that's going to be what happens. Yep, pretty soon that's all going to happen. Okay, now I can just capitulate to Modena because I don't actually want that war goal. Wait, what? How did I just lose 20 infamy? I don't think I should have lost 20 infamy for that. Well, I checked and apparently this is just a general problem with infamy refunds right now. I'm gonna try to not abuse this too much in the future, but yeah, this just seems to be a problem right now with how infamy refunds are working. So we've got a pretty good amount of money, so I can afford like 2 construction sectors on iron frame buildings. And then we should be able to fix up our market a little bit. Maybe it's probably time to build up some trade centers. That'll help our market a lot, I think. Hungary's beat their civil war. Yeah, they're a pretty big country. Unfortunately, yeah, they're gonna be very high liberty desire. But as long as they don't break free, it doesn't really matter. And we're gonna be able to steal some of their states by forming Romania. I don't want to do that yet though, because we want to do our Unite the Principalities stuff first, which we're like 3 years away from or so. No, 5 years away from, I guess. Oh, we can afford another 2 construction sectors? Alright. I'm gonna liberate Bosnia, and then I will move an interest over to Arabia so we can liberate Iraq as well. We need to weaken the Ottomans. They're far too strong. We need them to become a minor power, or not a great power, so that I can do my Unite the Principalities stuff. We're gonna need Russia on our side, I guess. That's actually a little bit of a problem. Can we call Russia to our side for a war goal? Yeah, we can give them a war goal, like conquer Kars. That'll be good. Let's do that. And then liberate Iraq. And hopefully this makes a few enough troops on this Egypt front that they can lose against Egypt. Oh, it looks like we're still running a positive balance. Okay, I can afford another construction sector, and then I guess I'll start building up some paper mills in Wallachia. Yeah, that'll be good. It does look like Egypt is pushing back the Ottomans. Hopefully that'll be enough for at least a white peace. It kind of looks like it might still not happen, but we can hope. Okay, actually Egypt's pushing pretty quickly now. Yeah. Okay, Egypt got Deir ez-Zor. Now Ottomans are gonna get humiliated by Egypt, as well as us, I guess. So yeah, that's good. Because if the Ottomans got that territory, that would have been pretty bad for us. Because I think eventually we want to better subjugate the Ottomans, right? And we want them to stop being a great power. So them having a bunch of new territory would make that quite a bit harder for them to drop out of great power status. But losing this war should make it quite a bit easier. Yep, there goes the Egypt war. Very good. And our war, I guess we can end right now. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, yeah, now the Ottomans have 31 prestige. So, yeah, that's not going to be very good for them, but it's going to be very good for us. Negative 82% prestige from humiliated, slave trade condemned, and sick man of Europe. I'm down to being an insignificant power. I need some more rivalries. Oh, Sardinia Piedmont ate up that territory there. Yeah, I'll rival all of this, I guess. That gives me some influence, and now I'm back to being a minor power. Okay, the Ottomans are now down to being a major power, which will be pretty good for us. That'll help us get our nationalism in time. It looks like we should get it. I think Once this slave trade condemn modifier goes away, there's a chance they go back to being a great power. So we need to have nationalism by then, and I think we will. Oh yes, just barely. North German Federation just formed. I guess it makes sense that it formed so easily because, yeah, Austria is a major power. I guess I should go for religious schools because, yeah, we want to get some literacy going. And I should probably build up some more government administrations as well. Oh, I should probably go on per capita tax first. I don't know. It doesn't matter too much, the order, I guess. Yeah. I just got public enthusiasm expedites reform. That's pretty nice to give us some loyalists in Wallachia. Yeah, now there's like no radicals there. Oh, I'm past 10K. I should now start researching banking. It's going to be faster. Otherwise, I think we were going to fall behind the slave trade condemned, but this way we should be ahead of it, get banking, get nationalism, and then we can do Moldavia. It doesn't matter, I think. No, no, the Ottomans do still have an interest in Danubia. I thought that they had removed their interest because we made them a major power, and they'd have to put it back, but no. So this is actually important that we do that swap. Okay, here we are with the completion of banking and nationalism. Oh, and religious schools. Okay, I guess I can build up a couple more construction sectors and go per capita tax. That'll be nice. And yeah, we get Unite the Principalities. Good. Press for the Union. Our Declaration of Union. Moldavia will become a lesser partner in a personal union with us. Very good. We are now the United Principalities, except not for very long. We should be able to do this, right? Must have amicable relations with the great power that does not own Bessarabia. What? Am I confused? Okay, it looks like the great power has to have an interest in Danubia, so that's a little bit of a problem. I don't know how we convince the AI to have an interest in my capital region. I don't think I can move my capital somewhere else. Hmm. So I'm gonna try to sign a treaty where I give Britain a lot of leverage over me, because my theory is that this might make the AI want to put an interest in my capital more. Honestly, I have no idea how I would make the AI want to put an interest in my capital. But I'm gonna try to sign this deal because I also want investment rights in Britain if possible. So this would be a good deal to sign. I guess we can just try this, and if they decline, we can give them some money or something. I guess I should figure out what tech to research next. Let's do water tube into railways, I guess. Um, hmm. What techs do we want to do? This is kind of tough to figure out. I mean, I guess we can just give them some money. They don't. Yeah, I mean, they want money a decent amount. We can give them like 1.5K, and that's solid 11 acceptance. And 1.5K is really not a whole lot of money. And then with investment rights in Britain, we can start building up some bananas for some bananas growth, you know? No, they decline. We need to get another 10 acceptance somehow. Could give them monopoly on fishing. I think that's pretty fine. Yeah, we can give them monopoly on fishing. Then I guess we can probably remove most of the money. Yeah, we can reduce the money a lot. And then offer that. And we get that deal. Good, good, good. Hopefully that will cause Britain to decide to put an interest here. I do not have any idea how the AI decides to put interest, though. This is not really something I've looked into before. Oh, right. Okay, Transylvania existing actually isn't that much of a problem. We can just use this event here to make them a puppet. Or this journal. Maybe I should go for this in my next war. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Let's Protectorate Galicia, Lodomeria. Ideally, we want to try to get them low liberty desires so when we form Romania, we can take their states, but I do think that's pretty unlikely to happen in time. Okay, Galicia, Lodomeria just backed down. That's pretty convenient. Yeah, we can get them down in liberty desire quite a lot. 0.61 a week actually is insane. Okay, yeah, this is actually going to be an easy puppet then. Even if we can't, yeah, we can't grant them states because for some reason you can't grant states from crown lands. But, yeah, this is tough that Britain just doesn't want to put interest in our capital, so we can't do the South Bessarabia retrocession. I guess it's like not that important, but it would be really nice. Okay, we get per capita tax. Should be a lot better. Should probably go up to high taxation now. Maybe put a consumption tax on tobacco. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, we got the ability to make Transylvania a puppet. Great. Yeah, now all we're really looking for is getting the Bessarabia retrocession. By the way, if we form Romania, it does close this journal entry. That's the reason I'm not doing it. Well, unfortunately, there's still no interest in Danubia, and we can reduce autonomy on Galicia Lodomeria. So I think it's time to just form Romania, regardless of the fact we are not going to get our part of Dobruja and stuff from Russia. It's really not a big deal, I guess. Yeah, there's barely any GDP here, and it saves us, like, how much infamy, realistically? Maybe two? Like, not a huge amount. So you can form Romania, you claim on Dobruja. Yeah, very, very nice. That, like, doubled our GDP to 7, not double, actually. It, like, increased our GDP by 50%. So yeah, we get all this new territory over here. Interesting that it's all unincorporated. I would have expected this all to be incorporated. Huh. Why is this unincorporated? Actually, I don't know. But we're gonna incorporate it, I guess. And that's gonna be pretty nice. Yeah, that's a nice expansion of our territory. And now Hungary should be weak enough that we have actual chance to make them loyal, except still not really. Yeah, minus 0.8. We really need to get our army bigger, but that's gonna take a while till we can get our army 10x that size of Hungary. Apparently, Galicia Lodomeria now has no capital. So that's interesting. Russia's going market unification in the bloc. I like that, I think. I want to go for a subject on Austria. So let's try to make them a protectorate. Or actually, first, let's exempt these guys from service. Because, yeah, North German Fed is going to join against us. And this way, we won't have a border directly unless we want to make one. Also, let's actually, like, max conscript for this war. I think we're going to need it. We can remove some of our social mobility decrees to do some more conscription. And yeah, we just want to get as much line infantry as possible. And we're just going to try to hold the line against Germany while we wait for them to capitulate out of the war. And then we can take Austria, right? That seems like the best play. And then we can use Russia to help us get some initial casualties on Prussia. That seems pretty good. We can maybe try a land invasion on Austria's capital at some point. Okay, the war begins and we have a 10 advantage on the main front. That's a pretty good sign, but of course the AI is gonna bash its head into into the Prussian lines, and then Prussia's gonna use general staff to win the war. So that's not what we want to see. I'm gonna with that setting so that way we will only defend on defensive battles, or we'll only attack if it's like our generals attacking. Otherwise, it'll only be the Russian troops. That'll help a little bit, I think, to making the Russian troops not just randomly attack. Looks like we're doing okay so far. How is Russia's? Yeah, Prussia's losing 1.62. Russia's losing 1.62 roughly, so it's pretty much the same right now. That's good. I'm gonna start building some banana plantations over here in India because they're so profitable. Let me look at this. 28 productivity for a 200 construction cost building is absurd. Russia is definitely losing the capitulation war against Prussia, but Prussia's not going to be that far behind, it looks like. Because, yeah, Prussia's losing 3.3 war support per tick, which is a pretty quick capitulation speed. Okay, Russia is out of the war now. Well, that made the capitulation speed go down a lot, but it's still somewhat high. So we can try to hold on this front while we wait. There's a war goal to liberate Bulgaria, so they do have to make it all the way to Wallachia, which they should not do in the next, like, 12 weeks that they have before they lose, right? There's no way they make it to Wallachia in 10 weeks, right? There's just no way. Well, I mean, they need to make it past Wallachia in 10 weeks, really, because I'm not going to capitulate until I hit minus 100, I guess. Yeah. So we should be fine. 5 more weeks or 6 more weeks? Okay, it's kind of close. If they had another like 20 war support, we might actually have lost, but luckily they don't have another 20 war support, so we should be fine. Yeah, there Prussia goes. And now we have a good advantage on this front. And Two Sicilies will capitulate pretty soon, and then we can go for an invasion on Austria. We just need to wait for Two Sicilies to capitulate real quick. Or really, I can just enforce military access on Hungary real quick. That's probably going to be easier. Yeah. And then go through Hungary. Just like that. I have so much money, probably from the bananas partially, and I guess also from all this new territory in Transylvania that we've incorporated. Yeah, let's start our strategic objective on Austria, get the capital, having Austria as a subject. We're going to be able to form Danubian state pretty soon here. After railways, I think I want to start going for pan-nationalism as my research. Yeah, there we have it. Austria as a subject. We can start improving relations. How's the Libby's desire increase? Yeah, it's pretty awful, like 0.72 right now, but it'll be fine. Especially since we can grant them, yeah, states from Galicia Lodomeria, because they don't have a capital for some reason. So we'll be able to grant them both of their states. I assume that has something to do with the formation, taking their capital state. Normally, when a formable takes the capital state, it means that the country got annexed. But in this case, for some reason, Galicia Lodomeria's capital was in Bukovina. If we press Z, you can see it zooms into this state as if this is their capital still. We got Confederation of the Rhine here, which is pretty nice, because Austria. I think there's no reason not to turn Austria into the Confederation of the Rhine, so that Germany doesn't form, right? I think we would hate if Germany formed, so let's just do Confederation of the Rhine. I guess theoretically we could have waited till we had some more people subjugated, but I think it's fine. We can just annex those people with Central Europe eventually anyway. I'm gonna withdraw from our treaty with Russia and get a new one now that we're so much stronger. Yeah, now we can just do like this, which is a lot better. Good. Just unlocked railways. I'll build a couple of railways in Wallachia. We do kind of need that for the infrastructure. And now we start the long road to pan-nationalism. Probably want to build up some universities eventually to actually get pan-nationalism in a somewhat reasonable amount of time. Oh, I'm contravening trade privileges because I'm in a power block with market unification? That's a little bit of a problem. Gotta find some solution to that. I guess we could just add more money. Yeah, that works. Let's try that. Okay. Don't love giving Britain more money, but at least we can keep investing in banana plantations. Croatia shall become a protectorate. With Croatia plus Confederation of the Rhine, we'll only be missing one state for having the minimum amount to form Danubian state. Probably get the rest from like Bavaria or something. It is going to be kind of hard to get Confederation of the Rhine low enough liberty desire, though. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. That is a little bit of a problem, I think. Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Serbia joined the play. I guess I'll go for protectorates on them too. And we can call Russia to our side. Oh, Hungary's in this war against me. Okay, good thing we called Russia. Yeah, it's not ideal, but we can win this with Russia's help, I think, right? Probably. Okay, yeah, looks like we're winning the defensive battles. We are losing the offensive battle that I started, but now the front advantage is like 56, so we should be able to win the next one, I think. Yeah, that first battle didn't go too well. I guess I want to push to like Hungary's capital or something. I guess we got Serbia and Hungary dealt with, but we need to do an invasion for the rest. I guess I'll invade into Bosnia. I'm gonna start enacting professional army, and then once we get that enacted, I think I'll start trying to build up some army battalions so that we can keep our subjects loyal a little bit easier. That'll be nice, because yeah, right now, people like Confederates in the Rhine, it's like impossible to keep them loyal. If we have more army size, that'll be a little bit easier. You can see, yeah, 0.5 from relative size of army when we aren't conscripting. Yeah, we have, like enough stuff subjugated that if we get everything depulted, we would have enough states at this point. Oh, and Croatia's going down in Liberty Desire. That is good to see. Bosnia is too. Very good. Look at me, some more states that we can, or really just this state, I guess. One more state that we can give to Confederation of the Rhine to help reduce their liberty desire. Well, we got a pretty good balance, and we have a lot of construction, so I'm thinking I want to invest in maybe a little bit more construction, but mostly I want to work on a big university in Wallachia. Maybe I should quickly get off of pan-nationalism and instead go for dialectics to get that good philosophy department PM that we're gonna want. And then yeah, we'll start investing in a ton of universities. Also, the bananas have been so successful. We now have double our the amount of GDP we own in our own country is less than the amount we own in overseas, mostly in the Dominion of India. But I guess we have a little bit that our private investment pool is built in Britain, Confederation of the Rhine, Awad, and so on. I'm gonna start enacting colonial exploitation because we do want to get colonies going. Obviously, colonies are very, very important. We are going to be a little bit late to them. Even if we go quinine right after this instead of pan-nationalism, we're still only going to be start colonizing in like 1866 or something, which is A little bit late, but it's not too bad considering how small our start is. We have like 10x our GDP in the first 20 years. I'm pretty happy with that. Balance is almost like too positive. I guess I can invest in more construction sectors before I keep working on these universities. We're doing pretty good. 15 universities so far. Increasing our tech research speed a little bit, but obviously we can increase it quite a bit more and even push a little bit into tech spread, which will be nice for increasing our tech level because, we are still kind of behind on production and military, although not that far behind. Clearly under 20 years behind because we have more tech than like Britain starts out with, I think. Brazil's trying to support the independence of one of my subjects, so I can declare some more interests. I guess I will, but I should try to improve relations with Brazil, I guess. Rival like Switzerland? Hmm. Yeah, Greece, I guess I'll rival. And then I want to try to improve relations with Brazil so that they hopefully will stop improving relation or stop supporting the independence of one of my subjects because we do not like that. I'd like it if Confederation of the Rhine could go down in Liberty Desire once I build up my army, but with them supporting the independence, that's going to be much harder. How are the universities going? We're up to 30 so far. There's a civil war going on in India. I hope that Britain can win. It looks like they're going to be able to hold East Bengal to secure the victory. Oh, Ottomans completed Tanzimat. That's pretty unfortunate because it means, yeah, they're going to stay recognized, but not too much we can do about that. Anyway, we did just pass colonial affairs, so maybe I should try to conquer into Zanzibar or something, but I do kind of want to try to stay under, like, infamy if possible. I want to stay low infamy because we can keep our subjects more loyal that way. I don't want to do this deal with America. I'm thinking we want to join Brazil in this play. Oh, looks like the play is over. I was thinking we could join Brazil to make them stop being wary towards us, but looks like that is not an option right now. Oh no, Croatia is no longer going down in Liberty Desire. That's so sad. Hmm. Well, I guess once these universities are done, we need to start building up the army a lot to try and make sure our subjects stay more loyal. Moldavia looks like a good place to build up the army. Let's build up 100 troops in Moldavia because Moldavia does not have insane amount of resources, I think. Or it does have irons. Maybe I should have built it up in like Banat or something. I'm lowering my money transfer to Britain to 5,000 a week, and they should accept that. I'm just gonna slowly. Or can I just like continuously lower it like this? Oh yeah, I can just keep renegotiating it because the problem is the penalty for trying to renegotiate. That's the reason why they don't like this. But we can just apparently do that in steps, and then they are fine with it. Okay, well, yeah, 3,300. Okay, I, I guess we can go a little bit lower to like 2,800. Yeah, there we go. And I guess we can go to. I guess I can just keep going down, or no, we can't quite go that low. Let's do like 2,500. That seems pretty likely that they'll accept that. Yeah, okay, that's how low I'm gonna go for my money. Nice. Saved like 4,000 a week permanently now. Oh yeah, we can go philosophy department and then get a little bit of extra tech spread. Yeah, it's only +7, but better than nothing. Oh, we got a pretty positive balance. I guess I will invest in a little bit more construction, and then I'll start building up. I think more banana plantations is going to be the most efficient thing to build up more of at this point. I don't think actually our prices for paper are kind of bad. Maybe I think this is a fine amount of banana plantations, and then do we have a new paper PM? That might help if we just have a new paper PM. Oh yeah, we do. That'll help. Okay. Yeah. Now we're running a sulfur shortage, but we can fix that with just a couple of sulfur mines. I'll just put up a couple of sulfur mines. Looks like we also need a railway in Wallachia. Yeah, and then with that, get our paper situation sorted. My first company, I'm gonna pick up minerals, give it iron mines, give it monopolies on all of these. I think that'll be pretty good. Confederation of the Rhine wants investment rights in me. Okay. Our subjects have gotten low enough liberty desires, so I can now reduce Croatia and Bosnia to puppets. I'm a great power. I'm going to start going lower government wages, because I don't really care about being a great power. In fact, I would kind of like to be a major power for cheaper infamy costs. I was thinking we should probably probably annex Bavaria, because it's really cheap right now, since they're in their civil war. and the war goal will stay once they get out of the civil war. So I think it makes a lot of sense to declare a war on Bavaria. Although, yeah, it's gonna take a while for them to get out of this civil war, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it's gonna take quite a while. To the point where we're gonna have pan-nationalism by then, so I should probably actually delay pan-nationalism a little bit and instead go for quinine right now. I think it's time to start enacting slavery ban. Oh, that's not ideal. Okay, I guess we're gonna end up radicalizing the church, but we need this to pass, so it just is what it is. Um, okay, that's not a very large increase in army size. Good. Now we have good odds on slavery banned. That's what we want to see. Oh, we're getting cooed. General. Okay, what we're gonna need to do is put this general going to like the Balkans HQ. That should. Oh, okay, yeah. Hmm. We need to send them like between stuff somehow. I guess that's kind of annoying, but we have to do like this or like the. Yeah, well, we have to try to make sure that the coup does not succeed. So I have to like be like this the whole time. It's a little bit annoying that this is optimal. Hmm. I'm gonna go conquer We2 because I don't really have a very good navy. In fact, I don't have a navy right now. So I think it makes more sense to go for a smaller country for a naval invasion. Because yeah, we need to naval invade something. I guess I should build up a new army as well so that we don't get the game telling me that I'm like getting the -4 approval event, from like splitting off armies when you have a coup going. Yeah, I'm trying to make this coup not progress. It's it's tough. I'm gonna try enforcing enlistment efforts or enforcing Galicia Lodomeria. Okay, well that way it's going up a little bit slower and I don't have to worry about it too much. So that might be better. We can maybe go down to medium taxes and then just let the coup. Let's just go down to low taxes and have the coup fall out like this. It's a little bit suboptimal, but it's not that bad. Okay, I've just realized we can just take out the rural Fulcrum government and it's way more legitimate and it barely reduces our chance on slavery ban and then the coup can fail. That's much better. I should really swap over to steel tools and stuff. Steel is just a little bit more worker efficient and I think end up like I think it might be construction efficient. I'm not really sure if it's construction efficient. It's pretty close. It's pretty worth doing. Should I go trade rights? I probably should go trade rights so we get some throughput on our trade centers. That'll be nice. Let's also go bulk trading, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. I've never gotten this event before. I've seen this event in like checking out Zanzibar's content, but I haven't actually gotten it before. That's pretty nice. Maybe that means conquering We2 is actually really strong. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we get all of Zanzibar seemingly. Yeah, Zanzibar no longer exists. Great. Okay, well now I can start colonizing over here. Pretty nice. Slavery has been banned. Very good, very good. Oh, we really need prop tax. Prop tax would be so good. Maybe we just go egalitarianism after this, and then pan-nationalism, and then with egalitarianism we can get prop tax and stuff. That'll be nice. I also really want to go human rights for multiculturalism, but we really need to get pan-nationalism. Oh, Sardinia Piedmont managed to survive. Yeah, they were getting attacked by two Sicilies to like full annex their country pretty much, but apparently they have managed to survive that. Dang, Sardinia Piedmont doesn't think they want my help here. It's pretty unfortunate. I'm gonna start making protectorate on Württemberg and Baden because we want to be able to add them to the Confederation of the Rhine before we unite the Danubian state. So it'll be good to have them as protectorates. Well, I guess I should only call in Russia if North German fight joined against me, which I guess we'll see if that happens. Looks like it's not happening so far. Now I'm going for protectorate on Baden. I guess I can start passing public health insurance. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's go level 3 colonial affairs too. Because, yeah, I'm colonizing pretty slowly over here in Africa right now. Actually, I think we might only need level 2, because we are going to, like, triple our population with pan-nationalism. But we are going to want it later on anyway, right? So maybe it's fine to just go level 3 right now. Yeah, I think it is. completely fine. Well, well, well. The Bavarian reactionary revolt, it's finally over. Okay. Now, I guess we can enforce mill access on Confederation of the Rhine. I should probably just do that, yeah. Let's just do that. And go for these countries. Yeah, we can finally annex Bavaria and everyone else. Very, very good. So close. Only 12 months till egalitarianism, which will immediately give us pan-nationalism as well from the reduction in ahead of time penalty. Okay, peace deal, annex Bavaria. This is some good territory we have over here now. Um, hmm. Could split this, but I don't really want to. Let's just hope we can get Baden. Looks like it's not really letting me get Baden. I'll go down to the Württemberg front, I guess, and try and push that one. Hmm. Yeah. Looks like we're not really being very successful against Baden or Württemberg right now, which is a little bit weird. Okay, I'm gonna go on the defense. Max conscript. Split formation. It seems like a lot. Or maybe it's fine. Let's split formation. What? It took like everything? Okay, let's promote a second level 5 general. Why is it taking like everything? That does not make sense. Should not be taking that much. Okay, I'm just gonna assign like half to a new army, and then we'll raise the conscripts, put them on defense for now on both fronts, because we do not want to capitulate in these wars, that's for sure. There's a civil war going on in Germany. I don't think we can get a protectorate off of it. There's a Two Sicilies protectorate play happening here. I'm gonna try to get Two Sicilies as a subject. We need to do a treaty with them like that. Okay. Yes. Plus 28. Very good. We get Two Sicilies as a protectorate. We love to see it. Public health insurance. We can level that up. That'll be very nice. Looks like it's worth building up more construction sectors. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can build up more logging camps. Good. I think France just like backed down. Well, that's pretty convenient. Oh, there's egalitarianism. There's pan-nationalism. Very good. I guess I should start going for like prop tax. I don't actually have anyone to enact it with. Okay, that's unfortunate. Hmm. You know, one thing I worry about with the forming Danubian state is we might have no one who wants us to enact multiculturalism anymore. I mean, we still have the Turkish, but will it be a large enough percentage of our pops for it to count? I'm gonna start researching human rights and maybe go between this and steel frame buildings. I don't really know. But we do need to figure out what we're gonna do with that little problem. Yeah, I don't know what we want to do about multiculturalism. Could just wait on multiculturalism, but it would be nice to get multiculturalism pretty soon. I'm gonna start supporting regime in Confederation of the Rhine because I saw their liberty was going down, and this should help that out a little bit. Yeah, now it's going down by 0.3. I actually don't want to help win in this war against the Polish revolt. I just want to keep it going so we can let let's see what's it called so we can let Confederation Rhine go down and Liberty Desire because we need their Liberty Desire down a lot, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna want to conquer like Istanbul and stuff to keep the Turkish movement high enough. We'll see what we have to do. I'm gonna join this war. Two Sicilies is declared against Sardinia, Piedmont, and Parma. Um, yeah, I think we can get good value out of it. I'll just start winning this war, and then we're gonna try and kill Sardinia, Piedmont because we can take Sardinia from them and give it to Two Sicilies, which that's pretty nice. They're trying to invade me in the Balkans. Okay, I'll put an army there, and then I'll put an army invading Venetia. Yeah, Sardinia, Piedmont's getting ran over here. How's Confederation Rhine doing in Liberty there? They're down to 84. They're really dropping. I guess I should stop pushing so that we don't capitulate Sardinia Piedmont too fast, because I actually need to keep Confederation Rhine Liberty going down. Oh, well that's pretty convenient. We get Forbidden Love and our ruler is 72. Okay, well that's really good, because yeah, that's going to mean we can get multiculturalism pretty easily. It's only 5% success chance increase because we already on subjecthood, but still, that's 5% better than nothing. Anyways, Yeah, this is really nice. We go from cautious abolitionist into enlightened royalist. But what I'm going to do is grant to Sicily's Dalmatia, make them a puppet. Then I will grant everything to the Confederation of the Rhine, and we should be able to get their liberty desire low enough to puppet. Please. I'm pretty sure. Right? Yes, we do. Nice. Puppet. Now expand Confederation. Now grant Galicia, Zodinia, grant Lviv. Very nice. Now we also want to grant them Sardinia and Sicily. Then we can now form the Danubian state, which is pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty huge. Now we have 72 million GDP. Just doubled our GDP like that. Yeah, that's like a decade faster than last time I tried to form that. Okay, pretty nice. And there's no more Confederation of the Rhine, but we didn't need it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now we cannot form Germany, unfortunately, because we are not a unification candidate. We can support Germany if we wanted, but we're not going to do that. But what we can do is eventually form Central Europe. And once we leave the Russian bloc, which actually they're probably going to kick us soon because we have a lot more GDP than them, and they might start getting scared that we're going to pass them in prestige and then take over the bloc or something. So they're probably going to kick us out of the bloc soon, and then we can create a cultural commonwealth and start winning the game. We got a market liberal in charge of the, what's it called? Boyars, so it's time to go interventionism, I guess. Oh yeah, I should try to incorporate some states. Yeah, not everything is incorporated. A lot of it is incorporated, but not quite everything. Let's incorporate the rest of this stuff. That'll be good to get incorporated. And a lot of this is going to take only 2 years, right? Yeah, a lot of this. Of course, Italy and stuff isn't, but a lot of it is. We're allowed to leave this block with Russia now. Question is, do we want to do that, or do we want to not do that and instead try to take over the Russian bloc? Because I imagine we're kind of close to being able to do that. I'm like 180 prestige away from beating them. So pretty close. But, I mean, is there really a point? Do we like... I mean, we kind of like a lot of these mandates, I think. Like, I mean, kind of just like vassalization 3. So the question is, do we pass them up fast enough for it to be better to just take their vassalization 3 instead of creating our own? If we do this, how's our prestige? 648? I mean, that's pretty darn close. So I think we're probably better off just staying in the Russian bloc and trying to take it from them. Oh, I ran out of infamy. I guess I'll go for a protectorate on Switzerland. We want to go for protectorates on all the countries that we can eventually unite into Central Europe with. It's pretty expensive to protectorate the Papal States normally, I would guess, so we're going to take advantage of this civil war to save a lot of infamy on it. We can't get them to accept our becoming our protector, but we can just declare war on them after joining them, and then it's basically the same thing. So we don't actually have to join them anymore. I forgot that, like, if they lose, you just keep the war. You keep the war goal now. They like have fixed that stuff at this point. I think that was something they pretty much did in like 1.12. They made most of the stuff actually work. Okay, I've actually decided that I should leave the Russian bloc because I'm gonna form a cultural commonwealth, not a sovereign empire. I was thinking about maybe forming a sovereign empire and then a cultural commonwealth, but I think it's just gonna be simpler to form just a cultural commonwealth. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could definitely make an argument for forming both, but I think it's gonna be simpler to just do this way, and it's gonna let us have more mandates overall. Probably gonna hurt the economy a little bit to lose access to Russia's economy, but I don't think it's gonna hurt it very much because we were the majority of GDP at that point anyway. Yeah, it looks like Russia is having more of the problems. They've dropped 4 million GDP because of that. We've also dropped like 3 million, but for us 3 million is much less than Russia's 4 million because we have double their economy. Oh, I should put some armies over here. Oops. Yeah, we need some armies over here because we are not doing so good right now. I got people as a subject, now we just need to make them win their civil war. Okay, I just got human rights researched. I guess we want to go for a steel frame and civilizing mission next. Pretty unfortunate that, or is it really unfortunate? I don't know. We want this guy to die, I think, for the enlightened royalist at this point. Because, I mean, cautious is really nice, but I think I would prefer to have the enlightened royalist for multiculturalism right now. Oh, I got like 100K positive balance. Okay, we can invest in a good amount more positive, or a good amount more construction. Very nice. Get a market liberal petit bourgeoisie character. That could be nice. Sure, we'll bring them in government and grant them leadership. It'll help us with interventionism, and also, I guess we can go free trade to deal with the corn laws. Yeah. I think it's time to invest in more universities. Let's look at our state with the most peasants. Bohemia, okay. Build up like 10 railways and then 100 universities. Maybe some more will build up, but for now I think 100 is good enough. It looks like free trade is too much for the socialist movement. They're mad. They're big mad. Okay, we'll stop passing free trade. I guess I'll go or proportional taxation. Yeah, we want that for sure. Yeah, let's just negotiate everyone. No, okay, we're not. We'll negotiate with the industrialists for railways. We'll definitely build that many railways. I'm gonna remove my enlistment effort so that I can actually have some authority, so that I can use this new company slot we're getting. I'll select generic tools. Generic tools is generally a very nice company to have. I did give trade rights to the previous company. Yeah, okay. Proportional taxation is here. Oh, I'm zero infamy. I'm gonna declare to make Argentina a protectorate, and I'll start working on more South American protectorates because, we'll eventually be able to culture convert them into Slovene and then annex them with the Holy Roman Empire, so they're going to be pretty nice to get. Also, I guess I should try and naval invade into Africa again, because, yeah, we did get occupied over there, and we don't want to have our colonies stop progressing. Quite sad to have our colonies not progressing. Oh, I just got a North Italian uprising. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah. Hmm. Bruh, really? North German Fed and Russia would join against me if I try to protectorate Sardinia Piedmont? Really? Hmm. Okay, I guess I can call Russia to my side here with like an obligation or something. Or get a defensive pact real quick, call them to my side, and then we can deck Sardinia Piedmont. Hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly grab a defensive pact with the Russians. Let's see. Now we call ally on Russia. Now I'm going to deck Sardinia Piedmont for make protectorate. And Russia should not be able to join against us. Then we're going to probably want to mobilize a lot of conscripts and stuff for this. Because, yeah, North German Fed is going to be pretty hard to deal with, I imagine. So I guess I'll use my authority again to start doing that. Yeah, I'll start enlistment efforts saying in random states that I think will be pretty good. And then we want to get a good amount of skirmish conscripts. Okay, this army already has some skirmish conscripts. Now get them up with lancer conscripts as well. And we should be pretty solid. Like this. Good. Now, hopefully, we can beat the North German Fed plus Sardinia Piedmont and take some more stuff from North German Fed. This also gives us a good amount of infamy so that we can then eventually abdicate this character and start doing multiculturalism stuff instead, which will be nice. So far, North German Fed hasn't actually joined Sardinia Piedmont, so maybe they just won't join. We'll see. Oh, this didn't actually stop Russia from joining, because Sardinia Piedmont didn't join Republic of San Marco, but looks like they didn't join, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, okay, only Spain has joined against us here, so we should be able to beat Sardinia Piedmont. To just swap up my first thing to steel frame buildings. It's going to be pretty expensive, and we're going to be trying to swap that up over the next decades. Or decade, really. Not decades. Yeah, we're going to try our best to swap up. I'm going to go bring the industrialist into government and exile the PB because he's an ethno-nationalist. Or does that even make a difference? What is the normal for the PB? Oppose versus endorse? And this is oppose versus endorse, so it actually doesn't matter. We're going to try to pass no migration controls. Don't want that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Get the intelligentsia in government? Probably not. Right, yeah, we can't. Oh, now the boyars are willing to negotiate. Hmm. Well, I guess you have to lie to the boyars. That's not ideal, but I don't think we have any other real choice. We need their success chance for this. Somehow the Papal States is free. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. Okay, we finally win this war. This war has not been going very well for us. Hmm. Okay, we can make peace. Good. Um, I really hate this Danubian supremacist movement. It's not very good at all. In fact, it's very bad. Okay, both of these troops like need to demob because we cannot afford that in the slightest. What do we want to go for next? Probably like multilateral. Yeah, we want to go for multilateral, I think. Oh, our territory in Africa is occupied again. That's not very good. We don't like to see that. Hmm. This movement is like barely at 100% activism, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's at 101. So maybe if I go down to like a medium taxes or something. We need to do something to make this movement just be a little bit less annoyed at me. Hmm. I don't know what that something is going to be. It's just barely too mad. It's a bit of a problem. Maybe we go low taxes. It's just not ideal, but it's I think what we might have to do to try to prevent civil war here, because I don't want a civil war right now. We do not have nearly enough radicals for a civil war to be worth it right now. Oh, do I have to take this 50-50 on the activism? I guess we can, like, imprison him if it turns out that it's bad. Um, let's see. What did we get? We got minus 15. Okay. That saves us. I guess that means I can go back up to high taxes now. Our market liberal got replaced by an ethno-nationalist in the boyars. We need to exile. Okay, there we go. We get a... No, it's still illegitimate. What is this scam? Oh no, it's still illegitimate, so now I have to go low taxation. Unfortunate. Press the Venetian secession. Very good. Oh, I need to restart incorporating these territories. Now that we lost our Papal States subject for like no reason, I think it's just because we had like the North Italian secession. France is going for Papal States, which yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Looks like North German Fed is fighting them though, so that's good. Yeah, it's unfortunate we lost Papal States for seemingly no reason. Seems like the Italian secessions kind of just make Italian countries go independent, which doesn't seem like that is how that should work. What I am going to do, though, quickly, is the naval invade Argentina so we can finish up that war. Oh, we can negotiate with the Orthodox Church now. Um, I kind of hate all of these. Hmm. Yeah, these are all not good. Hmm. Do I actually have to take negative 30% bureaucracy? I think I do. What's my current plus percentage of bureaucracy? I think it's actually not that bad. Okay, we actually seemingly have no plus percentage, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I'm gonna set my government administrations. Or no, we're not gonna set them to auto expand. I'm gonna manually construct up the amount we need in each state, roughly, to fix tax capacity. And hopefully this will get us out of our bureaucracy deficit. Okay, we passed no migration controls the next week. Do we want to go for multiculturalism? Oh yeah, we got our error that'll let us pass it. So I think that's what we want to do. Go for multiculturalism. Negotiate with industrialists for political concessions. We can't negotiate with anyone else right now, apparently. Hmm. Yeah, the Orthodox Church or anything don't want to negotiate. Okay, well, I guess I'll do. Hmm. I think I'll stay on high taxes, even though it is down a legitimacy bracket, just so we can pass multiculturalism a bit faster. Looks like passing multiculturalism actually reduces political movement activism on this because they're equal ranks, and that means it removes the +10 from having one of them, I guess. We can afford to swap more stuff over to steel frame buildings. Alright, I'll start doing that. It's gonna be pretty nice. We have been slowing down in economic growth recently. We gotta speed back up. What do we got? Peasants? We got peasants in, um, I guess Bohemia looks like a good state to build this up in. Because we got a decent amount of peasants there. We got lead. Yeah, let's build up some glass there. Need explosives. Where do we have sulfur? This little tiny state here. We don't really have peasants there. Sicily, I guess we could do. Build up 5 more sulfur there, and then some explosives. Got my first mandate. I guess I just go freedom of movement 2 to get to 80 cohesion and start getting in some mass migrations after we get multiculturalism. PB instead of boyars is significantly more legitimate. That's pretty nice. Orthodox Church are still 0 to negotiate with, apparently. So are the PB. Unfortunate, but at least we get a little bit faster law pass. Great, the Emperor is helping us out. It does give -3 approval, though. I'm going to quickly end my rivalry with Russia because I want to get this Danubian Russian Union to like me a bit more because I'm trying to negotiate with the church. Oh, really? Really? You give me these 3? I don't like this very much. And this is not some good stuff here. Let's see what happens with the next law tick. If you get really bad, then I think we'll have to deceive the Orthodox Church again. If we don't, then I might just say we don't want to do a deal, because, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to make the Orthodox Church hate me, because, I really want to have this birth rate bonus if possible, but might just have to deal with it. Oh, we have the Grunderzeit. Oh, are we involved? No, we're not involved. Can we be? I think we can become involved if we move our capital into Austria. Or if we move it anywhere in South Germany, but I don't think we want to become involved necessarily, because then we would get the penalties, right? Oh, does that mean you could like leave being involved and then not have to deal with the penalty? Interesting. I got a success. Okay, I think I'm just gonna not negotiate with the church then. Well, we've just passed multiculturalism. We have reforms at gunpoint for old age pension, which honestly is not that bad, but I don't want it, so um try to go like parliamentary republic. The absolutist movement would not like that. Let's give it a go and see how bad the absolutist movement civil war is. If it's bad, then we can just like cancel. Okay, that's kind of bad. So yeah, I think we're just gonna cancel. Okay. Yeah, we got multiculturalism now, so I imagine we're gonna start getting some migration soon. We'll see. I mean, I imagine we will, because we got pretty good mass migration attraction, right? Not like the same as all the high countries, and we have multiculturalism, so it would be pretty surprising if I didn't get any mass migrations. Okay, yeah, there's our first one of crew people. I'm gonna try to get India to law commitment. Oh, India's in a lot of debt if they're willing to. Yeah, they're in 117 million debt. That's interesting. But anyway, what we actually want is law commitment, no migration controls, no obligation. I guess since they're in so much debt, they're gonna be really okay. We actually don't have to owe them an obligation. We can just give them max money, and then do that. And yeah, that's pretty nice. Hopefully, India will start passing no migration controls because we do want to be able to take all of those Indian pops if possible. Oh, and they almost immediately start trying to enact it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we want to try and steal all of the Indian pops we can. Like we're getting a pretty decent amount of mass migrations already, but we want to get more. Yeah, we're getting a good amount of pops, but we want to get infinite pops. I guess you should go for regulatory bodies to make the socialist movement a little bit less mad. Yeah, this is something that we can actually try to pass. Give political concessions to the industrialists. Heavenly Kingdom just happened, and it fractured China. Usually fractured China does not happen this early, especially without player intervening in China at all. But yeah, I noticed that because I got a mass migration from Heavenly Kingdom. I I have no idea which one it is, but one of these mass migrations, there it is, Taiping Hakka people, is from China. Uh, yeah, we're getting a pretty good amount of migrants right now. Zhuang into northern Thrace. Good. Why do we lose migrants sometimes? We're sending migrants to Britain? How dare Britain take my South Germans? That's evil. Britain, you do not get my South Germans. I have no idea why oh, I guess it makes sense I have so many radicals in Bavaria because we did annex them. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's fair enough, actually. I was kind of confused why I had radicals there. We have this National Awakening journal entry where we need to get Slovene to 75 fervor, and apparently if we get it, we can get this insane bonus with 20% conscription rate. Sardinia Piedmont is demanding transfer Naples from me. Don't like that very much. Oh yeah, I forgot that the plague gets like this. Um, I will spread my primate culture a little bit. Let's work on that. Now lowers cohesion down to 65, but that's not too bad. Is there any chance we can subjugate the Spanish radical revolt? It's almost close enough. Okay, we're minus 16 now. If I swap my government over to this. What are the things? They got a radical and a protectionist. Okay, let's exile dissident. Can we get a protectionist industrialist or something? Please? That would be really nice. Oh, all we can get is an ethno-nationalist in charge of our intelligentsia. Okay, that's unfortunate. Is there any chance we could roll a protectionist here? 7%? That's not real. But we got a radical here. That's something. Still minus 16. I bought British Upper Andalusia, hoping we could maybe get the plus 10 from strategic adjacency, but apparently we already have a strategic adjacency somewhere, so that didn't actually help. Unfortunate. Well, I tried. Okay. We're gonna give up on that. We got my multilateral alliances. Nice. Now I want to go for malaria prevention. And then after that, I guess we can start going for like cars and stuff. I think we're not very far behind on tech. That's pretty solid, I feel like. I guess we can go like food company next. Yeah, I'm feeling food company next. It is definitely time to remove these enlistment efforts so that I can do some stuff. Yeah, let's get a monopoly on food, and then let's put on another consumption tax like services. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'm very happy with how this run is going so far. Oh, what? The Beiyang government somehow won that civil war? That is very surprising. Huh. I, I don't know how that happened. We could go freedom of movement 3, but I think food standardization is probably more important right now. Try and get that minus 10% mortality. Oh, we get to build the Kaiser Forum. Nice. Yes, we definitely want to build up the Kaiser Forum for +5 legitimacy. Time to start building up a ton of universities. I think I want to build up like 400. I think 400 is a good amount where we should get all of the techs we need to tech spread. So yeah, we are still a little bit behind on tech. I'd like to firmly get behind the days of being behind on tech by building up another 400 universities. Oh, we're still running glass and explosive shortages. Um, huh. This is not good. Did I like massively build construction up recently? What? I guess I did. That's not very good. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. You gotta believe sometimes. Okay, I'm deleting some construction sectors. We cannot afford this much. It's a little bit insane. We need to go down to like 2K construction. That will be a little bit more reasonable. Even that is a little bit much potentially, but okay, yeah, we can do 1892, I think. Yeah, negative 126K is easy. We are building universities, so we don't want to be super negative right now. Wittenberg just backed down to me annexing their country? That's kind of crazy. Back down to getting fully annexed. Okay. getting back the Papal States as a subject, because yeah, we lost them as a subject from our like North Italian secession or something, so we got to get them back. And yeah, we're gonna get them back. It's gonna cost us some infamy though, but it is what it is. Plus 30% technology research speed. I mean, technology spread for society. Same thing. Those are basically the same thing. Also, Papal States just back down. Reg bodies. Now we can go level 3 on that. That'll be pretty nice. I'm gonna begin enacting census suffrage. I have a plan to enact parliamentary republic right after, I think. I guess we actually need to get off of state religion as well. But, yeah, we're trying to do some stuff here so we can get cautious leaders, because cautious leaders are going to be really, really important long term for being able to subjugate as many people as possible since we aren't using sovereign empire. That's going to be important. Finishing touches. Okay. Can build level 3 Kaiser Forum. This has some really nice bonuses. 50% migration attraction, 5 legitimacy, 20% government administration building throughput. This is effectively going to become 5 legitimacy once we get parliamentary republic. I'm not doing technocracy this game. We could do technocracy, but I want to do, parliamentary republic stuff, so we can't really do technocracy. Or else we will not have the full advantages of that. So we have some pretty good liberty desire reduction going on with Sardinia Piedmont. Hopefully we can get the same thing going on with Papal States once we get our relations up a little bit. Relations are pretty low right now. I just got malaria prevention. That's going to be pretty nice. Yeah, okay, we don't need to add more colonies. I will go up to level 4 health system though. We can get that extra SOL and negative mortality and negative pollution effects. It's all pretty important stuff. Now we're headed towards combustion engine, I guess. Is this a good idea? We could stay in society and go for zeppelins and macroeconomics and antibiotics. I mean, we've got like a ton of tech spread, so I think we're fine to just stay over here for a little bit longer while we wait for tech spreading fully in production. Once we have no more tech to spread in production, then maybe we can consider going for combustion engine. But for now, I think this makes a little bit more sense. North German Fed just launched a unification play of Germany against me, which I'm surprised they're allowed to do since, I thought this would work like when you do the Austro-Hungarian compromise on Austria, where North Germany can't do the unification play against you anymore. But I guess not. So we're gonna take all of our return CBs, which will be pretty nice, and then liberate Westphalia, liberate. How much maneuvers do we have? We have 56. Okay, let's just liberate. Okay, actually, Saxony's gonna be better than liberating Hesse to isolate Rhineland. So we'll just lib Saxony, and that will weaken North Germany quite a lot, because yeah, a ton of their GDP is sitting in like Westphalia, Saxony, Alsace-Lorraine, Oberschlesien. Yeah, between all of that, we can get a pretty good amount of their GDP done. Hopefully, Russia isn't getting involved in this play or anything. Let's see. It looks like Russia might be getting involved in this play. Yeah, they're belligerent towards me. That's not ideal. Could we sign a defensive pact with the British or something? I promise to not trade porcelain, Britain. Please give me a defensive pact. Okay, yeah, now we can get Britain on our side. That'll be good. I think I do need to... Okay, I got shrapnel artillery unlocked. That's good, that's good. We need to build up a big army, I think. Our army's pretty small right now. We need to expand it a little bit so that we can stand a bit more of a chance in this war. Let's do like that. Yeah, that should be good. And then we can also like raise max conscripts. And we should be good like this. Yeah. Okay, let's call in the United Kingdom. Oh, I wonder. No, yeah. Sardinia Piedmont didn't want any war goals, so we're fine. Yeah. This seems pretty good. Dutch are still a major power. We want the Dutch to go down to minor power status. I don't think we can buy the Dutch East Indies from them, right? Yeah, we can't. Oh, for some reason this army was not on the front. Okay. I'm just gonna go defense for the start of the war. think that's gonna be best. What war goals do they have against me? Or did they add any more? Yeah, conquer Sicily, conquer Campania, conquer Calabria. And they're going for South Italy for some reason. Front advantage 25. I guess I can start pushing now. I did send my small army over here to deal with this uprising in Equatoria. How's my colony growth speed doing? 2? Okay, we can probably do one more colony then. Yeah. I'm gonna go food standardization 2, so we get that extra minus 10% mortality. Yeah, 2.4% pop growth is pretty solid. The front advantage is starting to rack up some good stuff for us. You can see we're pushing into Russia. I imagine their war support's going to start falling pretty quickly at this point. Not too quickly, but it is falling. So in like a year and a half, Russia should be leaving the war at this rate. Britain cannot leave the war because there is a war goal for transfer British West Africa from them. I forgot to turn on the ability for Britain to borrow from me, so they were losing some battles because I didn't have that on, but now we should be winning more of the battles consistently. Hmm. I wish I had had an interest here, because, yeah, legitimist revolt is um, genial towards us. If I had an interest there, we might have been able to subjugate it. Oh. Yeah, we got census suffrage. Pretty nice. Um, yeah, we're gonna have an election pretty soon, I guess. Let's see who can win that election. Get the positivists. I think we can appease the positivists real quick. I mean make the positivists hate us. Sorry. So yeah, what we're gonna do is pass something that the positivists really hate. So that's gonna be um universal suffrage? No. What that's gonna be is state atheism, cancel. Now the positivists are gonna be really mad at me. And they're gonna start a civil war. And I'm not able to abdicate. Huh. I'm not able to abdicate? Really? What? Hmm. I thought we were gonna be able to abdicate here. Okay. Let me just quickly try canceling and enacting a bunch of laws and see if that changes things. It's probably not going to, but let's see. No. Hmm. Okay, that's pretty unfortunate. I guess we just start going total separation then. Yeah, that's gonna be the next law we gotta try to go for. Unfortunate that we don't get to abdicate to the positives movement for Republic. That was my plan, but it does not appear to be working. So we'll just go total separation, and then after that, we'll try to get off of monarchy. We've got 100% electoral confidence. I'm going to rig the election in favor of the National Liberal Party. We can get a very, very good win for the National Liberals, and then probably have a ton of legitimacy. Oh yeah, our war with Germany is over. Did I forget to sign a peace deal? Oh yeah, they just did negative 100 because they had the cut down to size war goal, which they were just not willing to accept. But yeah, we get Alsace-Lorraine instant incorporated because we had a claim on it and a homeland on it. Oberschlesien expanded. Very nice to have some more pops to be able to work in our mines there. Saxony-Westphalia released. North German Fed now only has 13 million GDP. I imagine it's going to go back up a lot, but it is still pretty low. Oh, we get up in the air for plus 30 offense. How do we want to utilize that? I think I owe an obligation to the British right now is the problem because I signed that treaty for Gibraltar. Really should not have given them an obligation for that. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I don't think there's too much I'm going to be able to use up in the air for. Maybe like Japan or something? No, they're a recognized power. Oh yeah, the election happened. I should probably change my government now. Yeah, this is the most legitimate government. I'll just do this, I guess. Okay. Good. Can we negotiate with the trade unions? Yeah, we can give them political concessions. That's good. Very good to have happy, powerful trade unionists. I'm gonna go for a protectorate on Belgium. We're gonna want them in our Central Europe. Um, I'll put some army. Yeah, I guess we should mobilize this army because we are gonna, I think, have North German Fed join against us here. In which case we can go for a liberation of Hesse, which will weaken North German Fed even more. Or we could go, I guess, Brunswick. Brunswick might be better, yeah. Anhalt, Hamburg, and Hanover even. That would be like the biggest circle we could do to create a huge amount of inaccessible territory. They might also just not join. No, they do join. Okay. So, hmm. The Ottomans are in this war. Don't love the Ottomans being in this war at all. Um, well, no, don't conquer state. Liberate country. Do we have like a Hanover and then an Elba releasable? Is there a full state Elba releasable? I'm kind of doubting that there's a full state Elba releasable. Okay, I checked and there is no full state Elba releasable, so my best bet I think is going to be Anhalt, Brunswick, and Hanover, leaving these states isolated and also liberating a good amount of their country. Yeah, I'll do Anhalt, Brunswick, and Hanover. It actually leaves me with a decent amount of maneuvers left. I guess I will, uh, hmm, humiliate the North German Federation and humiliate the Ottoman Empire. That seems pretty decent. I need a lot of troops down here against the Ottomans. Plus 22% technology research speed is kind of nice. We gotta hold against the Ottomans. And then I guess I gotta split this army in two. Yeah, and then we can put some troops over here and be solid. Maybe we even want to split a little bit more down into that 25 stack down there in the Bosnia front. Let's do like a 40 skirmish. I think that's gonna be fine. Okay, yes. That should make sure we can actually win this front. Or not lose it, I mean. Yeah. As long as we can hold on both of these fronts for long enough, we should be fine. Oh, nice. We get open arms. Yeah, that's a good old plus 25% migration attraction permanently. We love to see it. Help get our mass migration attraction as high as possible. And now we're sitting at 80, or is that updated? No, now it's 95. So yeah, we should be getting pretty much every mass migration at this point. Oh yeah, and Prussia and North German Fed, sorry, Belgium and North German Fed are not doing too good. Belgium is fully occupied, and North German Fed is not doing much better, being mostly occupied. The GDP is sort of collapsing. It'll collapse even more soon though, when our liberate goes through, cutting their country in twain. Um, hmm. We could just not humiliate the Ottoman Empire and probably do a peace deal a little bit earlier like this. No, they don't want to do that. Okay. Um. Hmm. I guess we'll just wait for North German Fed to capitulate, and then we will go to other fronts. Okay. There is North German Fed dealt with. Now we go on to like the Bosnia front and stuff, and the Ottomans will not be lasting much longer. Do we really want to humiliate the Ottomans? Maybe we don't really care about this that much. We could try to weaken the Ottomans a little bit, because yeah, they are getting so much foreign investment from Britain. I don't know if anything we do really matters, since they have so much. Yeah, I think we need to like liberate Iraq and stuff. They reconquered Iraq, I just realized, yeah. Pretty unfortunate, but I don't think there's a huge amount we can do about it. And start improving relations with Belgium. Spread our primary culture to the Papal States. Northern Fed now just chilling at 7 million GDP. That's what we want to see. Yeah, these SA still has 2.3 million. I imagine that that's going to go down because, yeah, everything here is zero productivity. This Jakub Kleine Spol company looks kind of interesting. I've never used it before. It gives plus 5% agriculture throughput as well as 10% paper mills building throughput. I think I'm going to give it, I think I'm going to run it. It's probably not necessarily worth it, but it looks interesting, so I want to give it a go. Hmm. Let's see. We are kind of lacking on authority right now. That is a bit of a problem. I'm gonna have to remove some consumption taxes. Okay, and can't even monopolize both still. I guess. I don't think it's worth doing it for paper. Yeah. Hmm. That's pretty unfortunate that we are so lacking on authority. I don't know that we really have an easy way to get more authority. I don't think we do. In fact, we're going to lose more authority since we're going off of monarchy. That's going to cut out half of our authority, actually. That's pretty bad. Hmm. I could go censorship or something. That would be really nice. But I don't think we really can too easily. I got another mandate. I should probably use that. Do I go companies or colonial offices here? I guess I'm gonna go companies first. Well, it's time to go Parliamentary Republic. Not by passing Parliamentary Republic, though. That would be far too logical. Instead, we must pass Parliamentary Republic by canceling passing Council Republic. What does that have to do with passing Parliamentary Republic, you may ask? Well, the answer is that we can abdicate the throne now. And now we're gonna have to do a bunch of laws. Or we're gonna have to cancel a bunch of laws that these guys are gonna want to enact, so that we end up having them enact the law we want. So, something like this. And then it's going to end up enacting the law we want, because it can't enact a law that's impossible to enact. So let's swap to a government that's going to have some interest groups that we hate, like these ones. And then let's get Parliamentary Republic. And then we get a regent, except we don't, because we have Parliamentary Republic now. Great. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now we need to look for cautious characters. So let's exile, and I'll start searching for cautious. Okay, we got a cautious character here. He is negative 50 popularity, though. Is there anyone who's less unpopular? There is, but they're in the radical movement. So we're going to have to take the negative 50 popularity character, I guess. Which is a little bit of a problem. We're going to be running a pretty incredibly large authority deficit. Yeah, negative 10 opposition interest group approval is not really runnable at all. So we might have to give up on some monopolies. Sulfur. Um, hmm. What else do we want to give up on? Like steel. It's not ideal, but we do just have to give up on a lot of monopolies, I think. Oh, that PM swap to rubber tools might not be good. Let's swap over just like one to rubber tools for now. And hearth process. We're gonna have so much extra steel, I think, but it's fine. Hmm. Yeah, we need to remove more monopolies. Definitely food industries is not gonna monopoly anymore. Hmm. We're still running negative 100 authority. Can't really remove that yet. Hmm. Coal mines we want to remove? I guess we can remove trade rights. I'll remove trade rights. Okay. Now we have pretty fine bureaucracy deficit. I don't know why the trade unions decided to not be in a party anymore. It's kind of bad. I have to rig the election in favor of the National Liberal Party because they're losing like badly. We need to make sure they win so we keep our cautious. Unfortunately, right after no migration controls got passed in Bengal, they got an Indian national movement and the British decided to abandon them. This is pretty terrible, but it's not quite as bad as it may first seem because Bengal is a minor power. So, I need to get an interest in their capital, which is Rajputana right now. Which means I need to like get a treaty port from one of these guys or buy a state from Portugal or something. Maybe I can buy a state from Portugal. That might be easiest. Guarantee independence, trade privileges. Okay, that's pretty good. Get Portuguese Gujarat. Right. See? Yes. Now I can declare an interest in Delhi, which has Rajputana. And then we can go for a protectorate on Bengal while we join Bengal. And then we win. It's just that easy. You see. Because yeah, Britain's helping out Bengal as well, but they don't have them as a subject anymore because they abandoned them. It's a little bit weird that abandoning doesn't actually make them leave the play, but that is just how it works. So yeah, we need to wait for our interest to appear. It's gonna take a minute. Now we can declare for Make Dominion for some reason. They're a colonial country, so we can't use Make Protector. We have to use Make Dominion. Hopefully this doesn't get bricked by them just randomly stopping being a colonial country. Yeah, hopefully. Good, they have the same system for Dominion as they do for Protectorate, where it won't increase rank. I'll let in Humiliate so they hopefully back down. Oh, I actually kind of need them to back down so I can join them in the play. Uh, uh-oh. Please back down. Please back down. Please back down. Oh, okay, they do back down. Very good, very good. Now we can join Bengal in the play. I would have just had to reload if they didn't back down there. We can just put some armies over here, or maybe not. Maybe we would have just been fine and had the British be able to win the play. But I don't know that I trust the British in that. Companies 2. That'll get me a little bit more authority because this gives a +1 free company charters. Alright, I can change language of administration if I want. Should I do that? They would lose Bengali as a primary culture. Maybe he's bad, but also maybe he's good, because then they get more radicalism. I think I want to do that actually, so they get less, so they get more radicalism. Let's actually wait till they get Bengal back so we can have them get the radicalism on more Bengali pops, but I think that's gonna be good. Okay, Bengal now owns all this stuff. Change language of administration. So now they have all the cultures of the Nubian state. Unfortunately, they're still not gonna get annexed unless we get like Persia with the Central Europe formation, but we will probably find a way to annex them with some country, but that's not too important. What is important is that we're gonna start getting some migrants from India soon. We just need some cultural communities to spawn, I think. Right now we don't have any. Oh, Andhra? Okay, we got some pops from Andhra. Telugu, I guess? No, not Telugu. Tamil? Oh yeah, we got a lot of Tamil pops throughout our country. Lots of Tamil cultural communities, so we can start getting migrations from them. Oh, China got recognition? That's pretty unfortunate, but I guess there's not much we can do about it. I'm gonna reduce autonomy on Sardinia, Piedmont. I'll start reducing subject payments and exempting them from service to keep their liberty desire low. I'm gonna go do the strat. Freedom of movement 3. Then we grant Bengal their own market. Now, I believe we should still be able to get migrants directly from them, but what we will also be able to do now is get mass migrations. When they're in a separate market, you're able to get mass migrations, I believe. And so, hopefully, we can get some mass migrations because they have quite a bit of radicalism on like their Bengali pops and stuff. So they should be willing to migrate over here to the Danubian state, and we should be clearly the country for them to migrate to because we've got 90 mass migration attraction, which, yeah, that's a lot. I guess I'm not rigging this election, or let's actually see. Are there any PB cautious characters that we'll better invite? Because, yeah, that is a little bit of a thing. There aren't any. That's not good. Uh-oh. We really don't like that. I don't think there's going to be any industrialist ones either, though, to be honest. Yeah, there aren't. Hmm. Okay, well, unfortunate. I'm quite confused why the industrialists have not, I mean, why the trade unions have not created a party again. I do not know why. Hmm. We should have, like, the Communist Party and stuff unlocked, right? I'm pretty sure we should. We have socialism. Yeah, we got the Communist Party unlocked. Out of infamy. Guess we can't get cautious characters right now, so we will simply start protectorating some of the German countries. I did protectorate Lucca, I thought, right? Am I crazy? I thought I went for protectorate play on Lucca. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going for Saxony. Slowly gonna protectorate all the German countries we released. Hopefully Netherlands as well. For now, they're still a major power, unfortunately. I don't think it would be really... I don't think we can change that yet, unfortunately. Oh, civil war in Westphalia. We might be able to use this to subjugate them. If not, we can still use this probably to get them for cheaper. Probably we can subjugate them though, right? Negative 103. Hmm. That's not very good. They're disinterested. Hmm. Yeah, not ideal. We can spread our primary culture to Belgium. That's pretty nice. Help produce liberty desire in them. But what we need to do is change our government, I guess. What is their government? It is rural folk. Hmm. Oh, wait, the trade union character is cautious? Okay, maybe we're just gonna run a zero legitimacy government for like a while then. 500,000 radicals a month, 6 million radicals a year. That's kind of a lot, but maybe we just run it. I don't know. Does this help? No, they hate it. They hate it so much. What? I guess they're rural folk. Hmm. What about the conservatives? Do they like the conservatives? No. What? Okay, well, that's pretty unfortunate. Hmm. I guess what we'll end up doing probably is just declaring Westphalia for protectorate while they're smaller, because it's going to be way cheaper. Then they'll probably lose their civil war, but it doesn't really matter for us. Okay, Saxony back down, so we don't actually have to let them lose their civil war. We can just declare, make protectorate, and join them. Yeah, this is going to be good. Dutch radical revolt? Is there a chance we can annex it? Probably not. I mean, subjugate it? Probably not. Yeah, negative 112. That's kind of a lot to overcome. Hmm, unfortunate. Okay, well, trying to subjugate the Dutch revolt. It's one acceptance away, which is the trade unions. So what we're gonna do is pass monarchy. What does passing monarchy have to do with succeeding at this? We'll see. Westphalia backs down also. That's not too important, but we should get a revolt now. That's gonna be a radical movement revolt. We're gonna resign to this revolt. It's gonna give us universal suffrage. And universal suffrage increases ideological similarities because in trade unions and intelligentsia, which these guys have in charge, like universal suffrage, and I think it's only like some subset of laws that count, but universal suffrage or suffrage seems to be one of the subset. I'm not really sure what the subset is. I know some laws didn't affect it, like National Guard and public schools and stuff seem to not affect it. But anyways, let's go for a protectorate on the Dutch radical revolt. Very nice. Well, there's no more need to pass monarchy, I guess. And I'll bring in the Conservative Party to make sure we have some legitimacy. Although when we declare war, we do want to kick them out, so we can get our cautious, I think. It does appear some of those government swaps were able to get us enough radicals. Maybe it's also like the abdication, but anyways, we need to get a dedicated police force now to try to make the radicals less of a problem. Looks like after this election, now the Conservatives like lost the election or something. Or wait, why is the intelligentsia in government? I don't know. But anyway, we can kick them out, and I think that fixes our legitimacy a little bit. Yeah, now we have 45 again, so we can keep passing dedicated police. Can we get political concessions for the trade unions? Yeah, nice. Yeah, now we got the Netherlands as a subject, which is pretty nice, along with Westphalia and stuff. North German Fed is a little bit tough, though. They're still a major power. We need them to bankrupt. I don't know how we're going to bankrupt them. I guess we could do a goods transfer war. That might be the best thing to do. Oh, Ottomans are in a radical revolt. Hmm. I wonder if we would have been able to subjugate that. Probably not. I wish I would have noticed that, though. I guess I didn't have an interest in Anatolia, actually. Oh, yeah, I can declare way more interest. I should declare way more interest. Let's do that. Something like this. Um, hmm. Sure, we can do like this. I've yet to get any good mass migrations from India, but we did just get one from Japan that's giving us a lot of pops, I think. You can see our pop graph looks pretty exponential since we formed Danubian state. I'm gonna pick up Stuea Romana for that 20% oil extractors throughput. It is pretty nice, I think. You could make an argument that I should have taken that company later, I guess, right? Because we are still kind of early in the game, and we don't even we're not really early in the game, but we don't have a car company yet. I mean, we can get one pretty soon. We're just kind of waiting to tech spread enough to get macroeconomics. I shouldn't have invested quite this much tech research into it. Oh, essential planning research, that is now 30K. Okay. I guess we invested a decent amount. Yeah, ideally, I think I should have invested like 28.1K. So we could have one more tech spread. Yeah, like political agitation. That would have been nice. But it doesn't really matter too much. Now we can get our sixth company, I guess, or seventh company. No, yeah, this is our sixth company and our final one, I guess. I think I just want to pick up generic motor. We do. I mean, the company that's like in Piedmont we prefer, but we're not annexing Piedmont for that, I think. Maybe we can do, maybe we'll disband later, but for now, I'm just gonna pick up generic premium motor and then um, remove this consumption tax. And I guess I'll use my monopoly on automotive. And then we can start building up some automotive. West Galicia, that seems like a good place to build up some automotive industries. Let's build up like 100 there. Sure. And I should also build up some trade centers somewhere. Where's going to be good to build trade centers in? Ideally you want somewhere with a natural harbor bonus. Let's take a look at that. Land maybe might be decent. Or we could just do it in the states we're exporting, I guess. No, I think it's good to do it in natural harbor. Let's just do a big trade center here. It's going to require us to get some immigration here, but I'm sure we'll get some. Get up to like a level 500 trade center. I guess we should start surveying a skyscraper so we can get that 25% trade capacity and advantage bonus, because that will help out a little bit. I'm trying to look for cautious on PB or industrious, but none exist, so we have to take this million radicals to get a cautious, but I am now going to invade Russia finally, or Bessarabia and Russian Dobruja, and the liberation of Poland, and the liberation of Ukraine. Yes. I think I'll leave the war goals like this so that we can potentially add in some war goals against North Germany if they join. I think maybe I just conquer like Brandenburg or something. We need something to make them go down to being a minor power. And I think that might be what we need to do in order to accomplish that. I'm not really sure what we can do to accomplish it. It's pretty tough. We can finally finish off this uprising. It's kind of unfortunate there's no like automatically assigned troops to native uprisings because yeah, it can be unfortunate when you forget to deal with them. It looks like North Germany did join the play. Okay, I thought they didn't join. Conquer Brandenburg. I think we want to do. We have a connection to it through Saxony. So I'm just gonna conquer Brandenburg, and then I guess we lib Ukraine, or we could humiliate North Germany. I'm gonna primarily make liberate Ukraine just to make sure they don't back down to this. I think that's gonna be good. Somehow they managed to occupy Franken, which is unfortunate. Luckily, that's not their war goal. Yeah, that's not good for us. We need to conscript more shrapnel artillery and skirmish infantry and stuff to ensure we can be victorious in this war. Yeah, we cannot be losing to Russia. We gotta take all of our Romanian homelands. Yeah, I got a message. Someone told me I should take my Romanian homelands. So, I gotta do it. They're so right. I just kind of forgot that we even had claims on this territory over here. Also, I want to liberate, Poland and Ukraine so we can get them in the bloc eventually. So we can subjugate them and get them in our Central Europe formation, I mean. Oh, I guess I should swap back to a more legitimate government. Um, yeah, I'll just do this. So we don't get in too many radicals or anything. And just keep passing dedicated police force, because yeah, we do want to get rid of the penalties from having too many radicals if possible. I'm gonna go very high mill wages just to try to help win this war. The war is not going too good for us right now, I guess. No, I already have the max PM for our barracks and stuff. Maybe I should build more barracks. Yeah, let's build some more barracks. Get another few hundred troops going. And that'll be good. Dedicated police force. Nice. Start leveling that up. And then for our final slot, I think I will go colonial offices. We could go like transportation infrastructure, but yeah, I think I want to go colonial offices. I'm gonna go mass conscription just because I want to make the trade unions happy. They're pretty mad. Oh yeah, because you got the pro-Russia lobby. That would explain why the trade unions are so mad. Okay, peace deal. Now, yeah, North Germany should hopefully be able to drop down to minor power now. They're still in 10 million debt, but they only have 10 million GDP now because we took away their capital. And then we also have Poland and Ukraine here, which we will be able to subjugate, hopefully for not too expensive infamy costs, and then add to our Central Europe formation. Apparently China has annexed Shaanxi and stuff. This is pretty rare to see China like reunite after the Beiyang government thing. Yeah, they've actually reformed into Great Qing. Very rare occurrence. North Germany had built up a skyscraper, or not built up, but they had unlocked a skyscraper, so we're gonna build that up now. That'll be good. I just got antibiotics, which is pretty nice. We can go level 5 health system now. I'm also Now going for compression ignition. It's gonna take a while to research, but we're gonna get it eventually. There's a socialist revolt happening in Germany right now. Unfortunate that we are not gonna be able to join it because we've got the truce with North Germany still. Mass conscription passed. This is time for my next trade union law. Trade unions are not very happy with us, despite us passing laws that they like pretty often, I feel like. Um, I'm gonna pass like women's suffrage, but we can't do that right now. Hmm. I guess we'll just go commercialized agriculture. That'll be pretty good, I think. Any political concessions to the petite bourgeoisie. Do I want to do that? I don't know if I want to give the petite bourgeoisie plus 40% interest group political strength. I don't think I want to do that. Apparently this revolt in Germany is not going to win because the capital of North German Fed is in Rhineland. Interesting. Colonial offices 3. We're going to go up to colonial affairs 5. So I can start getting that infamy gen down because I do want to go for a protectorate on Persia, I think. So that we can like connect everything up. Ideally get a connection between Persia and Bengal as well. Although that might be a little bit challenging. What in the world is the Netherlands doing declaring war on Great Britain? This is absurd. No reasonable person would declare war on Great Britain as the Netherlands. I think I just joined this play and then like, oh, I can't back down? No, I can't back down yet. Yeah, we're just gonna immediately back down because I'm not fighting Britain over Banjar and Pontianak. Pop growth's kind of slowing down because we have too high of SOL. I don't think there's really much we can do to lower our SOL. I don't know why it's gotten so high this game. Usually my SOL does not go this high, but yeah, it is kind of killing our pop growth, which is pretty unfortunate. Like if we had all of our pops at 10, yeah, that's actually not much better. We would need our pops to be at like 15 SOL, I guess we want better pop growth. Like what's 16? Yeah, 16 is 2.4%. 14 is 0.4% as well. We want like 2.4% pop growth, that's a lot better than what we currently have. I mean, it's only 0.4%, but over the course of 30 years, 0.4% adds up to being pretty significant. I guess I should probably get off of guild system on something that's like actually good. The PB really hate this for some reason. Hmm. Yeah, I should really try to get off of guild system. Hmm. You can negotiate with the church. Still not great odds, but it's not terrible odds, I guess. Try to pass the right to associate. I'm gonna spread my primary culture to Argentina. Slowly spreading my primary culture to everyone. We're gonna need to subjugate Ukraine and Poland soon, so I'm trying to keep some infamy for that. Where do we want to spend our infamy next? I'm trying to damage relations with Brazil so we can go for them. Maybe we'll have relations below 20 by the time we run out of infamy. We won't have our truce up with Poland and Ukraine yet. Yeah, right to associate is not going very well so far. I'm actually just going to cancel it and go corporatized unions. We got 0 Bengali pops in my country? Okay, maybe this like market control strat doesn't actually work anymore. We'll try getting India back in our market and see if we can get some migrations from them that way. Because yeah, it was not working really. We'd had India out of our market for a long time and we had not really gotten any cultural communities of their stuff, which is kind of weird. But I'm pretty sure that they have plenty of radicalism. Yeah. Looks like our relations with Brazil are not going low enough quickly enough. So, um, I guess I could just go for a protectorate on Montenegro. That doesn't seem too bad. Luca? I'm gonna go for protectorate on Luca. Sure. Oh, Poland's having a civil war. That's pretty nice. I was kind of planning on invading them for protectorate, but that's gonna make it so that's not really necessary. Saving us probably like 25 infamy or so. Let's see. Yeah, like 30 infamy probably. Oh, we don't even have to go for a defensive pact. They just really want to become our subject. Okay, that's nice. Okay, we can now go for a Ukraine protectorate. We do just need to make the trade unions don't have a cautious character anymore. I assume we can look for one for them though, because the trade unions... What? The trade unions have 0 available agitators? Well, that's not very normal. Okay, do we have a... No industrialist. Intelligentsia or church? Please. I need a cautious character. Okay, we have an intelligentsia one. The intelligentsia aren't doing great in the election. That's for sure. Let's. Uh, no, we can't exile. Okay, we're just gonna grab the intelligentsia character and roll with it, I think. Unless. No, yeah, the church are doing even worse in the election, so we just go for this intelligentsia character, putting him in government, grant leadership, kick the conservative party out of government. Zero legitimacy, but at least we have a cautious character, and it'll maybe go slightly above zero legitimacy with 7% of the votes. Okay, go for Ukraine Protectorate. France might join against us, but that is not a huge deal. After this, we'll probably go for a protectorate on North Germany pretty soon. Though we might give it the 5 years for us to be able to use our spread culture on Poland and Ukraine, because these are probably the last countries that we're going to want to add into our Central Europe. I don't know. Okay, France did side into the play, so I guess I'm going to go liberate Occitania. And I think that's it. Yeah, we just live Occitania here. It's not too much. Okay, let's open negotiations with the strikers. We definitely don't want to have a strike. I'm gonna go for humiliate Ukraine just to maybe get them to back down. Probably they won't. We can see our strike negotiations. Promise to pass wage subsidies. Might be the easiest thing here. Steel is not easy. I guess the election's about to happen. That'll make wage subsidies easier. Yeah, we'll go for wage subsidies, I guess. Okay. It's not ideal, but we're gonna be able to put in the trade unions for sure once the election's over, and then go for that. We got some infamy, so we can afford to stop having a cautious character as our leader for a while. I imagine North Germany is not gonna be becoming a major power anytime soon. Although I guess it's cheaper while they're insignificant, so maybe we should try and do it while they're insignificant. I think it's time to reduce some people's autonomy. Yeah, let's reduce Papal States, Switzerland, and Belgium's autonomy to puppets. I just got a mass migration. I just got like 3 mass migrations from China in a row. What? That's pretty weird. That's quite a few migrants we're getting. Yeah, it's gonna go down. But hopefully we get some random ticks of just infinite migrants from China. That would be nice. We'll see. 2.3 million migrants a year into Dunatil. Nice to see. Yeah, our GDP sitting at 1 billion right now. Pretty solid for Danubian state. I mean, actually, it's just completely insane that we have this much GDP on Danubian state, really. But yeah, I should swap over to this government real quick so that I can then begin passing wage subsidies because, yeah, we're gonna need it. I'll take the minus bureaucracy, I guess. Give the industrialist political concessions, sure. Liberate Occitania. Nice. Probably not going to subjugate Occitania and culture convert them in time, but at least we weaken France a little bit, which is, nice. Can't be having a strong France. France is an evil country. Wage subsidies. Nice. That should prevent the strike. Get strike keeping promises. That'll give us a bunch of loyalists and stuff, which is good. And, I guess we don't need to kick the trade unions out of government until we actually want to declare our next war. I do kind of want to declare a war on Germany, but maybe not quite yet. Should reduce Argentina to puppet because we're not going to grant state them anything. So once we reduce other people or get too much infamy, we won't be able to do them. But we want to be able to annex them with our Central Europe form. There's a liberal movement civil war in North German Fed. I'm feeling like there's maybe a small chance we can get North German Fed to just like get it be subjugated. I think actually no, there's no way we can actually get North German Fed to accept us. Even if we take on their debt a bunch of times, they're belligerent towards us, so we can't do that, I think. What we might be able to do though is join this liberal movement. So we'll see what happens with this liberal movement. I'm not going to declare on North German Fed until this liberal movement fires, I think, or until it goes below 95. Oh, it looks like Germany has got the liberal movement under control. They've got a ton of movements that are pretty radical, but none that are quite radical enough. They're gonna have another bankruptcy soon, though, so maybe that'll get some of their movements mad enough. Looks like probably not, though. Yeah, so we'll probably just have to end up eating the infamy on attacking North German Fed. Compression ignition is here. Um, hmm. Let's see. What do we want to research next? I guess we can go like mechanized farming or let's go plastics, I guess. I don't think it matters too much. Maybe radios, actually. I'm gonna go radios. Here's some max declared interests. Yeah, we'll go radios. It doesn't really matter too much. But now we can spend our oil on mass production, all of the mine PMs, and so on. Yeah, this is going to be pretty nice to have some uses for our oil finally. I guess we're also going to be... Oh, we're running a big rubber shortage. It's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I guess I don't have a rubber company right now. That's kind of going to make rubber a little bit more of a problem than normal. What are we doing? Yeah, I do have this PM on. I guess some of these weren't profitable, so they're not fully employed. Now they should be profitable because rubber has a lot more demand, I guess. So hopefully we can fix that. And then max bent rubber so we get some more imports from the world market, hopefully. You know, Bengal has quite a few pops. Those pops need to become mine. For the Bengali pops to become my pops, I need to annex Bengal. To annex Bengal, I need to have a connection to them. So for that, I'm going to start out by conquering Mysore. Because if you look at the Arabian Sea node, you can see this borders Baluchistan and Maharashtra, aka Bombay. So I want to conquer Bombay, Mysore, then Persia, Baluchistan, then we'll conquer Kars, and we'll have a connection over here. And then we can give it all to Serbia eventually. And yeah, it's a little bit complicated, but that's the plan. So we'll annex this all with the formation of Central Europe. I think it's going to get us a little bit under 100 for me doing all of that. Hanover is getting invaded by the Ottoman Empire. So, this is not super convenient timing for us because means we can't really add our war goal against Kars, but I guess it's fine. We're just going to go for a subject on Hanover, which is going to be nice to get for free. Well, I guess it's not really free because we're getting a truce with Ottomans in exchange, but kind of free. You know, better than costing us some infamy. I think it was like 10 infamy normally. Let's see. Like, yeah, we saved 6.5 infamy with our cautious ruler. So that's like 10 infamy if we didn't have the cautious in charge. Pretty good to not have to spend that. I guess we get tradition of free elections now. No? You don't have electoral clientelism either. Oh, I just realized why Confederation of the Rhine journal entry isn't going away. It's because I'm the South German nation with a rank above major power. Satara, gotta be annexed. We can get our connection going. Okay, we can now make peace with the Ottomans. Good. I guess probably should start working on defeating the, what's it called? I want to defeat Sind so that we can, you know, go for our next country, which is going to be Persia. Or we could go for the North German Fed, I guess. Why am I not able to declare war? Oh, I am? Okay. I think I should... I think it's probably time to declare on North German Fed, right? I think now makes a lot of sense as a time to declare... Oh, the liberal movement could fire in North German Fed, actually. Let's not do it then. Okay, the liberal movement just fired in North German Fed. Well, I guess we're protectorating North German Fed for like 7 infamy now. I don't know why this revolt is so big. But yeah, that seems like pretty nice. We can just protectorate North German Fed for like 7 infamy, join them, and then get a pretty cheap North German Fed. This is a very nice thing about war goal bricking being removed. You can do some pretty good stuff with it. Although actually, I guess in this case, this would be possible without war goal bricking removed because Germany's bankrupt anyway. I got Baluchistan. I'm gonna go for my protectorate on Persia. Okay, we just got this war in Netherlands and Hanover that I joined. We're currently fighting Persia. I think I should probably go protectorate the final few countries here in Central Europe, so Brunswick and Anhalt. And then I guess from there, we want to conquer from Russia, like Tiflis and Armenia, to get the connection that we need. Um, yeah, the alternative would be to conquer Kars, but our truce with the Ottomans, I think, is too long. Yeah, it's 3 years. Okay, conquer Tiflis. I don't think there's any way we can treaty for these, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, they're not really liking me very much. I don't think we can treaty for them. Let's just deck for Tiflis. And then we also want to conquer Armenia. Or Elizabethopol, I guess, is cheaper. I guess we could go for Elizabethopol because it is cheaper. Now, do I want to primary this? I think it probably costs like 2 infamy. Could also conquer Baku, but it probably doesn't have any oil, and it's kind of too late. So let's just liberate like Belarus, primary that, liberate Lithuania, primary that, and I'm just kind of so scared that I'm scared that they're still gonna back down. Surely they don't back down, surely. North Russia's a little bit tough, but we are winning now. I lost 2 of my land invasions that I was doing in Grodno and Minsk. We're getting invaded here in Papal States right now. Yeah, it's a little bit of a war. Trying my best. Also fighting Anhalt right now, so we can have all of that area subjugated. It is looking pretty good right now. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else I can spread my primary culture to that would matter? I don't think there is. Might decrease autonomy on people, but I don't think there's anything I need to do that on. Yeah, okay, things are looking pretty good. Just gotta finish up this war with Russia. I'm gonna go for transfer Tuscany. Yeah, I think this might be the last war that we declare. Okay, yeah, we need to take Tuscany for Central Europe. The only state we're not gonna have of Central Europe, I guess, is gonna be French Low Counties. Okay, now we can get tradition of free elections for a extra 10 legitimacy. Yeah, the UK did end up joining Brazil, so this war is pretty big. In fact, it's massive. But I think we should be able to win. We should finish up this war with Russia soon. I got Tuscany from Brazil, or I mean, I have it occupied. The war with Russia is still ongoing. I should probably set a strategic objective on Ingria for this army. It needs to go push up there. This army is trying its best down here to get to Tiflis and Armenia, but it's or Tiflis and Elizabethopol actually, I guess. Yeah, I should do that. That might be better. Hopefully we can go for both of those and finish up the Russia war soon. And then Brazil is slowly capitulating, but it is taking a while because we've not gotten a too good of an amount of casualties on them yet. I should take off the 70 army to go fight on that front. Brazil is invading Africa. Oh, okay, we're finally gonna be done with the Russia war. Good, 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 good. Yeah, we can just do this. Good. Now, now this army can try to go to this front or something. I don't know. We got a ton of armies that can go to different fronts now, which is going to be super, super useful. Yeah, we should have a bunch of armies going to a bunch of fronts, and then we should be in a much better situation, hopefully. And we don't have a big enough navy to really naval invade Brazil. They've already occupied enough of Argentina, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but we can try our best to make sure we don't lose Africa and stuff. I guess I should send an army over here to deal with this Tamil uprising, because we don't want this to win, that's for sure. Okay, we can get Tuscany from Brazil. Nice. Wait, what? Guarani uprising? Ah, okay. Yeah, we gotta go deal with that. Should probably stop having a billion armies mobilized. I don't think we need a billion armies to fight the Guarani uprising. I've got like 200 authorities. I should probably spend that getting some more monopolies back. Monopolize steel back. Monopolize. Hmm. Maybe that's all we want to really monopolize. I guess we can get power plants as an extra industry. That's going to be good. Yeah, because I'm using electric engines right now for my motor industries, so it's good to have that. Our oil price is relatively low. I should probably turn on plastics. Yeah, I'm going to turn on plastics. And then I'll probably also turn on bone china. Alright, that should... Yeah, now our glass price... Actually, it's just because we aren't using construction. I think our glass price will be fine. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, it's time to form Central Europe. So we're gonna organize the Confederation of the Rhine. Okay, yeah, Westphalia is the Confederation of the Rhine. Let's reduce them to puppet. And then they're gonna annex all of that stuff. Good. Then we will give some states over to Poland to reduce their autonomy. This should not take that many states, I would think. And, Okay, well, looks like it is going to take a lot of states to reduce Poland's autonomy. I don't know why Ostpreußen and stuff was only giving like 5 liberty desire reduction. That seems pretty weird. But, whatever. We're going to give a bunch of this stuff to Poland. Get them down to puppet. And then we will give a bunch of stuff to Ukraine. The disadvantage of doing that is we did just unincorporate a bunch of states, but we'll get them back incorporated pretty easily. Now we need to reduce autonomy on Ukraine. For this, I want to give Tiflis and Elizabethopol, and then I guess I have to give Lublin and Plock. There we go. Ukraine is now a puppet. Now we need to get Persia down to being a puppet. Grant them Elizabethopol, grant them Tiflis, grant them Bombay, grant them Danubian Gujarat, grant them Mysore. And I'm gonna keep granting these guys some stuff till we get their liberties are low enough. I guess I'll have to give them Ukrainian territory, unfortunately, but not much we can do about that, I think. Yeah, we just have to do this. It had to be done. Sorry, Ukraine. Really sorry, me, for losing all of that incorporation. Now, we need to give, oh, Bengal is in this Diplo play? Bruh, no. Okay, well, we can't give stuff to Bengal then. That was kind of part of my plan. That's a bit of a problem. Well, it's a pretty big chunk of GDP, but I think I'm just gonna go without, India. 290 million. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of GDP we're missing by not including India. This war is... Oh, maybe this war just gets back down? I mean, a lot of these war goals are primary is the problem, right? So it's kind of unlikely you back down. Maybe this war just ends really quickly. No, it's unlikely to, because Ottomans and Egypt don't share a land border. So, yeah, I don't think that that's going to be easy to finish. So, maybe we just have to accept not getting India included in our deal. So everything's going to go to Ukraine from Persia now. Yep, all of it gets to go to Ukraine. Okay, just given all of Persia to Ukraine. So now I need to give some territory over to Tuscany and Lucca. I'll start with Tuscany, I guess. Romania. Let's see here. Piedmontian Provence. I'm just trying to figure out the lowest cost things I can give to reduce their autonomy. Yeah, let's do this. Then we reduce autonomy on Tuscany, and we grant everything over to Lucca now. And this should be the final country that we need to grant stuff to. Piedmontian Emilia, Venice, puppet, great. And we should have, we should have a primary culture spread. So we can now form Central Europe. Very nice. We can get French as a primary culture as well. And yeah, I'll choose that. Great. We don't get to annex Bengal fully, but it's fine. We're pretty big here. Oh, I did forget Serbia. Oops. Oh, it's not like Serbia had anything major anyway. I mean, it had some GDP, but not really much. Yeah, that's pretty good. 2.2 billion GDP on It's called Romania in 1914. I guess I need to reset production methods throughout a lot of this territory because it's not going to be our current PMs. I'm just going to quickly click everywhere that I'm pretty sure we would have just obtained and see if that increases our GDP and stuff. Okay, now we're going to want to start incorporating everything. It's going to take 2 years to incorporate a lot of this. I guess some of the stuff like Ukraine is going to take the full 13 years, I think, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to start incorporating it all. Nice. Oh, I'm running a grain shortage because I reset production methods into simple farming. Let's turn everything into chemical ferts. Oh, also everything is now like not on hardwood, I guess. Let's do like this. This it should be better. And then got a bunch of clipper demand. Ports. Okay, I need to set my ports to being using industrial port. Should be good. Mass scale trading. Yeah, we should be sitting up in a pretty solid position here. See, Ukraine, yeah, it is 15-year incorporation. But this is pretty solid, I think, for Romania. Yeah, I'm extremely happy with how this run has been going so far. Definitely want to at least have all of Germany incorporate. Oh, we just got up to 2.5 billion. Yeah, I guess we're growing quite a lot because our GDP from our subjects is going up now that they're in our great country instead of their terrible countries. Maybe I should swap out the generic motor company for the special one. I guess we can't really get the prestige good at this point, right? It's going to take too long, probably. Or actually, maybe it won't, because I guess the custom prestige goods, you don't have to do the unlocking period for them, right? So it would be better. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I should do that then. Fiat. Could go for it. We lose all of our company levels, though. That's kind of a big loss. Let's do it. Yeah, we're gonna go for fiat. Sort by name because I guess F is pretty close to the start, right? Fiat should be here, right? What? Oh, I don't have like 5 motor industries or automotive industries in Piedmont? Wow. Okay, I guess I'll build 4 up in Piedmont. I'm gonna set a bit of a subvention on the export of cars. Our balance isn't too great right now. That's fine. You need to put a consumption tax on cars. Yeah, negative 6.5 million actually. No, actually we're completely fine. The investment pool is kind of carrying us right now. Or it's just not doing any construction itself, really. It's just decided it wants to privatize our buildings for the most part. Yeah. Pretty soon we'll have these motor industries complete and we can establish fiat. I guess actually I can't have this consumption tax because we need the authority. Yeah, I'm gonna need this authority for the company. Okay, we can now get fiat, which is pretty good. Uh, yeah, we're gonna get that monopoly on automotive industries. Interesting, there's still no Bengali cultural communities over here in Europe. Huh. I don't know why. There's a civil war going on right now. I guess I should go deal with that, but yeah. It is quite weird that I've not gotten basically any migration from Bengal, I think. Yeah, basically, we're not really getting any migration from Bengal. Is there something wrong? No, they have no migration controls, right? So they should be able to migrate, I would think. Hmm. I guess I should bring in the trade unions to government, because, yeah, we're having a coup, so I don't want to let that coup succeed. But also, it's just good to have the trade unions in government. I'll start trying to pass, right to associate. Yeah, I'll pass that real quick. Oh, but that makes the industrialists real mad. Is there anything that the industrialists could, like, agree on with the trade unions? Protected speech? I don't think so. We can maybe just go women's suffrage. At this point, we're not going to need more pop growth, right? So we can just take this for the loyalty. The industrialists are still actually kind of mad at us, unfortunately. Because I'm running negative authority. Hmm. Yeah, not too much I can do about that, except for have a more popular leader, I guess. All of our stuff in Italy, or North Italy, I should say, has incorporated, as well as North Germany, which is pretty nice. Looks like Polish is taking 5 years for some reason, because it shares heritage trait West Slavic. Interesting. and I think it also is because it shares language trait Slavic or something. But yeah, I'm trying to get to 3 billion GDP. We're so close to 3 billion GDP. I want to hit it. We're so close. I want to do it without even being in like a true negative balance also. And I think we can do that because like our investment pool is absurd right now. So I'm pretty sure we can hit 3 billion GDP without a true negative balance as an including investment pool, which I would say is a big achievement for um, Wallachia. Okay, we got it. So now I'm gonna review our countries. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this run went. I did not expect to hit 3 billion GDP in 1916 when I started this run at all. I mean, like, I knew I put it in 30th place on the tier list, but I would not have thought the 30th best country could do it. So maybe Wallachia and Hungary deserve to go up a lot of spots on my rankings, because yeah, I did not expect this run to go nearly this well. It went so well. 3 billion GDP 1916. That's just so high. I'm so happy with how this run went. But anyway, we can look at cultures. We can see Romanian is in most of the Romanian homelands except for Bukovina and Dobruja, which had been taken over by Hakka and Ukrainian. Or this one might start as Ukrainian actually. Probably does. Everything else looks kind of normal except for yeah, Banat being Han. I guess also yeah, Partium is almost Han. We got some Mexican migrants into Germany and Danish in Schleswig-Holstein. That's normal, I guess. Javan and Ruhr. Yeah, we're not going to see too much useful here. What I do want to show is the population map mode. We have so many pops over here in Wallachia. We have 27 million. For comparison, let's see, like, what is Hainan? Okay, yeah, 27. Chongqing is 26. Okay, it's not the number one most populated state in the world, but still, it's, you know, pretty solid, I'd say. Yeah, 27 million pops in Wallachia is something. Alfold is at 22 million. West Galicia is at 18 million. Bohemia is at 17 million. Moldavia is at 17 million. We got so many pops in Romania. Like, how many pops are there in Romanian homelands? I'm gonna add up all the pops in Romanian homelands real quick. Just barely shy of 100 million. 98.5 million is what I calculated within the Romanian homelands. That is quite a lot of people. Yeah, that's so many people. Yeah, this was a really good run. I'm so happy with how this run went. This is our institutions at the end of the game, our laws, um, and I guess we can show our tech tree. We got pretty much all of the important techs. Yeah, I'm so happy with how this run went. I guess I'll just quickly show this is what the world map looks like. This is the GDP map mode. If you didn't know, you can press Control F9 to hide the UI, which I just found this out pretty recently, to be honest, like a week ago or something, or maybe 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Goodbye.